I've heard the nonsense from Big Three executives about my foul mouth or theatrics. I want you all to know something. I do these updates because you all deserve to know what's being negotiated about your future, your life.
Are you on? Which side are you on?
So let's go ahead and get to this. What exactly, where the Big Three automakers are in negotiations right now with the UAW. And like I've said, generally, they're just not where they need to be. That's the gist of it. But specifically, in his address last night, UAW President Shawn Fain spoke about exactly where each of the Big Three automakers are on tiers, on wages, COLA, profit sharing, temps, job security, work-life balance, and retirees. And so we'll go through those really quick and just list off basically where they are so that you can kind of see exactly where the negotiations stand. So on tiers, the UAW is demanding a 90-day progression to the top rate and restoring pensions and retiree health care. Ford they all want to keep tiers, is the thing. Ford is saying a 5-year progression, and they're rejecting all pension and retiree health care proposals, but they are willing to put a high cap, a not low enough cap, a high cap on temporary workers. GM is saying a 6-year progression, not a 5-year. They also rejected all pension and retiree healthcare proposals, and they want continued substandard pay for CCA and GMCH. I think that's what that one brother was calling in about earlier. Stellantis says 6-year progression. They want a 6-year progression. Instead of, remember, 90 days is what the UAW is asking for. And also, remember, 90 days is what the progression used to be. I had somebody in the comment section saying, 90 days, isn't that unrealistic? Isn't that crazy? And no, actually, it's not, is the answer. That's what it used to be, and that would be fair. 6-year progression is what Stellantis proposes, rejecting pension and retiree healthcare proposals and continuing substandard pay at MOPAR. On wages, the UAW is proposing significant double-digit pay raises to match the salary increases of the Big Three CEOs to catch up with inflation. Ford is proposing a 10% increase over 4 years. Doesn't even make up for past raises wiped out by inflation. Lump sum bonuses that many employees won't even receive. So that's Ford's offer. 10% over 4 years. That's 2.5% per year. That's insane. GM is proposing the same and a 0% wage increase for GMCH workers at the top of the pay scale and a 2% increase over 4 years, remember, for CCA employees at the top of the pay scale. It's wild. Stellantis, they're getting a little bit better, but it's still what the UAW calls, quote, deeply inadequate. A 14.5% pay raise over the life of the contract. That's what Stellantis is proposing. On COLA, the cost of living adjustments, and Shawn Fain he emphasized this point that all of these companies said, COLA's off the table. We can't do COLA. There's no way we can afford that. And well, now Ford is coming to the table with a COLA proposal. So that tells you that, you can never believe these companies. They're lying, parasites and leeches and vampires. But Ford is coming to the table with COLA formula, but it is deficient. It is not sufficient. Their COLA formula would have provided actually 0 wage protection from inflation in 10 of the last 13 years and will provide an estimated 0% wage protection over the next 4 years. Okay, so it's basically like this COLA formula that Ford is putting forward is kind of like those disaster healthcare plans, right? That if you're in a huge accident, you're not going to have to spend more than like $20,000 or something. It'll kick in after $20,000. It's like something like that, right? If inflation hits 20%, okay, well, Ford's going to help you out, but not in any other year. That's not sufficient. GM, no COLA, just lump sums that many employees won't receive. Stellantis, no COLA, just lump sums. On profit sharing, UAW wants to increase profit sharing and Ford is coming forward asking for concessions on their current profit sharing, by 20%.
Wow.
They want a 20% cut in the profit sharing checks that Ford employees get. And remember, Ford is the same company again that increased their dividend payouts by 150%, not by 50%, not by 100%, not double, 150%.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
They increased dividend payouts by 150%, but they want the employees to take home less of the profits than they already do. GM is also coming forward with a concessionary proposal that would have resulted in a 29% smaller check last year. A 30% smaller check. Stellantis, they're not asking for concessions, but they rejected the profit sharing proposal. On temps, UAW wants to end the abuse of temporary workers by converting all to full-time employees after 90 days. Proposals from Ford is no path to full-time with meager wage increases for temporary employees to $20 an hour with an 8% cap. $20 an hour is not enough for an auto worker. GM, again, no path to full-time with meager wage increases to $20 an hour. Same thing with Stellantis. No path to full-time with meager wage increases to $20 an hour. Job security. UAW wants to institute that working family protections program that we've been talking about that would say, look, we can strike over plant closures, and if you go ahead with a plant closure, then you got to keep paying us to build our communities. You can't just leave us high and dry after we give years of our life to this company. I mean, think of it. In any individual, any single auto manufacturing plant that has hundreds of workers, 1,000 workers, every single year that a 1,000 worker plant is in operation, that is a millennia of man hours. That is 1,000 years of human life that this company is taking from the community. And so the idea that you should be able to just on a whim take that away, leave the community behind, that gives you hundreds of years every year is just unconscionable. So Ford's proposal to that is unlimited outsourcing. No, actually, we want to have the unilateral right to outsource any of our work at any time, is what Ford is saying. GM rejects all of the job security proposals, and so does Stellantis. On work-life balance, the UAW wants a shorter work week, more paid time off, and more holidays. Ford rejects nearly all of quality of life proposals, including Juneteenth, with a meager 2 weeks of paid parental leave. That's it. That's all they're budging. GM rejects it, all of it except for Juneteenth. They're saying, okay, all of this other stuff, not doing, but Juneteenth will give you that. Same thing with Stellantis. On retirees, the UAW wants an increase to retiree pay. All three are rejecting all increases to retiree pay. So that's where we are with the big three automakers. I mean, just totally insufficient. And like he said, his trash can is overflowing. And so at the end of it, at the end of his presentation, he had this message to say about, just generally speaking about the state of negotiations and why he does these weekly live streams. Let's play this update from Shawn Fain.
So there it is. That's what these companies think you're worth. That's what they say about you behind closed doors, meeting with the bargaining committees. And then they go on TV and talk about treating us like family. Tell me, is this how you treat your family? Do you tell your family, good luck living paycheck to paycheck, but I'll keep my $29 million a year? Do you tell your family, go make cars 7 days a week, 90 days in a row, so I can buy a second house in Mexico? That's not how I treat my family. So listen, I've heard the nonsense from some big three executives and some of their friends in the media about my foul mouth or theatrics or this or that. I want you all to know something. I don't do these updates because I just want to blow off some steam about insulting proposals. I do these updates because our strength as a union is in our membership. Our strength as working people is in our unity. You all deserve to know what they're saying about you. You all deserve to know what's being negotiated about your future and about your life. I want to be clear. We want a deal. We're ready for a deal. But it's got to be a deal that honors our members' sacrifices and contributions. We aren't going to lay down and take whatever scraps they give us. It's time, it's long past time that we stand up. And we're serious about this deadline, and the companies are serious too. Just yesterday, I saw reports of Ford taking out big loans and prepping scabs to work if we go on strike. They're getting ready, so we're getting ready. If we hit 11:59 p.m. on Thursday without a deal at any of the big three automakers, there will be a strike at all three if need be. In the coming days, we're going to be sharing more with you on that front, but I want all of you to be ready. I've got 2 words for every big three worker out there listening. Stand up. Be ready to stand up for yourselves, for your families, and for your communities. Be ready to stand up against corporate greed, against management's lies, against distortions in the media. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for what you believe in. And I truly believe, just as a Gallup poll recently showed, when 75% of Americans said they stand with us, I truly believe that all of America will stand with us in this fight.
So there we go. Not much movement, and the UAW is getting ready for a strike. 11:59 p.m. Thursday, September 14th is when the contract expires. So we'll see. We'll know by the next episode whether or not there's a strike, and we'll be ready to cover it and to talk to folks. We already have lined up for overtime next week Luis Leon to talk about his UAW reporting. He's got some excellent reporting in the prospect. He went to a rally in Kentucky by UAW members, and so we're going to be talking to him in overtime. Haven't figured out who we're talking to in the main show, but probably going to see if we can't get another UAW member to talk to us. So looking forward to seeing what happens, and looking forward to these people getting everything that they deserve.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.